Well, hello everyone, it's David again. Right, so we have a new tool today. Yet another one from Dspiae. Oddly enough, it's not a cutting tool. It's actually another sanding tool, which I've been testing for a few weeks, and it should now be on the store. Now, what this tool here is, I think solves an issue. Many of us try to sand curved surfaces, cylinders or anything with a curve on it, and that's quite hard with any kind of sandpapers. We can use sponges, absolutely, because they conform to the surface to a degree, or we can sort of persevere with traditional sandpapers. Because the risk is you tend to sand a flat spot onto the curved surface, which is not ideal. So what we really need is some way of bending the sandpapers, or at least letting the sandpaper conform to the actual surface area of the curve which you want to sand, and that's what I want to show you today. Now, what it is this guy. Looks a bit weird. I know it looks very strange. What Dspiae call it is the cylindrical surface sander, and really what it is, it's a curved surface sander. That's what it is. That's how they actually describe this. We get out of the box and you can have a close look at what this actually looks like. If I can get it out of the box, there it is. Okay, so that's how it comes in a box, and it's foam packaging to keep it in good condition. I say this is all metal construction again, using Dspiae's traditional sort of metal anodized metal colour. Comes in there trademark red colour. Now, as I say, it looks a bit strange, but actually they've thought about the ergonomics. Like if I hold that in my hand, you can see my fingers and my thumb conforms to that space beautifully, and that's what I'm all about on this channel. Ergonomics, usability, how do you actually do that? So that's how you would actually hold that. So I'm right-handed. If you're left-handed, it kind of works as well. So it's one of those universal devices. But that's how you would actually hold it as you're actually sanding. As you can probably notice, there's a couple of keys here. Those basically unscrew, and that's how you secure the sandpaper. So let's put that down for a sec. Let me reach for a craft knife. Let's put that down there, and let's grab some sandpapers. From Dspiae. Let's grab one of these. So, and I also need a straight edge. So, for instance, if this was your sandpaper and you wanted to sand a surface, a curved surface even, basically, what you do is you cut a strip off like that, and then it goes into the slot there. Like that. In fact, I could probably make that a little bit smaller. You tighten the guy up like that, and then that's how you're ready to start sanding. And that area there gives a bit. If I rotate this as I do, it gives a bit, and that's what you want. You also want that to give a little bit for sanding cylindrical surfaces. So it's one of those tools that you probably you never knew it was going to be as useful as it is, and I must admit, when I go out of the box, I thought, is that going to be really useful? Is it going to actually perform? And it kind of does. So I'm pushing against, say, a curved surface there, like my finger, for instance. Let's use my finger as an example. You can see the actual paper conforms to the surface, so I can do motions like that around the curved surface, and because the sandpaper isn't rigid as it would be with a sanding block, you're not going to sand a flat spot, are you? Yeah, that's not going to happen with this kind of device. Now, it's also very useful for sanding unusual sort of shapes, and if you need to get say a sanding paper into, say, a crevice or an area on a model, particularly figures. I'm particularly talking to you guys that print 3D figures or buy 3D printed figures. Often it'll have lots and lots of detail. and yep, you could go at it with your craft knife, but of course that's going to potentially gouge out areas which you then got to fill. Whereas this guy, you can reach into certain areas. Let me show you an example. Let me just put that down for a second. So I had this guy printed a while back, this 3D figure. Now, as you can see, it's got loads and loads of different surfaces all over it. So, for instance, if I wanted to get into that space there or that space there, couldn't do that with a traditional sanding paper. With this guy, if I want to get into, say, there, or if I wanted to get into the underside there, I can, because I can reach in and then start sanding. If I needed to get something off that edge, I can reach in, because the sandpaper, there you go, you can see it's actually taking some of the material off. Or excuse me, so the back of this board, for instance, if there was something on that surface there, I can reach in. Or if there's something on say the underside of this surface there, I could reach in and start sanding that way. The idea for this application is because it's obviously a very thin and flat surface, you can reach into places and then start sanding. But its initial application is absolutely any kind of curved surfaces, and that's what they call it, a cylindrical sander. But it's that give on the sandpaper. That's the important thing. So you're not pushing against a flat surface against a curved surface. You're going to get a flat spot. So again, if I use my finger as an example, just so you can see how it conforms, then it's sort of that motion. Well, because the sandpaper gives a little bit. What I also do is, I've clamped this all the way to the end. Of course, you can move this in slightly, and then that give will be even more. So you can kind of match it to the curved surface that you're trying to sand. And again, you can make this as thin as you want, because this clamp will grip it, because the clamp actually is about what? In fact, I'll measure it. Hang on a sec. The clamp is 15 mil. So if you wanted to, you could cut this sandpaper to very, very fine if you had that application, and it would actually be clamped very securely by these two nuts. This guy in the middle, that's for storage. I've got a hook on my wall. I just basically hook it over when I don't need to use it. But that's the ergonomic sander. It really is. As I say, I was a bit skeptical when I go out of the box, but they've thought about that, how it sits in the hand, and then as you're actually moving it around, you do get very, very fine control, because you can grip it very well. Trying to use sponges with your hands, that kind of thing, it's not ideal. Of course, you can't reach into certain areas, and certainly if you were trying to do that with this, just with your fingers, that's very, very inconvenient, and I think you just wouldn't get the accuracy. So that's the curved surface sander. I think that's what I'm going to probably call it on the store. That's available as you watch this. As I say, it could be transformative for many of you. If you do have an application for sanding lots of curved surfaces, and if you're having issues trying to reach into to actually sand small hidden areas or areas which are very, very difficult, and you don't want to go at it with a knife, this guy could be absolutely the solution you've been looking for. So that's the Dspiae curved surface sander. That should be on the store now. As usual, when I sign these things off, if you guys have any questions about this product, or in fact anything else across the store, do get in touch.